Okay, here's Weiss. Okay, so you've had a chance to watch some of the YouTube videos, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So if I were to ask you 10 questions about the videos, you could answer them?
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Hello.
Yes.
I'm not.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Go ahead, Janice.
I'm not sure if I can answer those questions, but I
Okay.
tried.
All right. And that's what I mean. I find that a lot of people watch videos not to absorb for they're not there for entertainment purposes. They're there for you to understand the techniques, for you to stop, rewind, stop, rewind, stop, rewind, until you fully get the technique. Because these strategies go against every instinct that you have, right? As marketing people, our instincts are to sell, 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 sell like crazy, right? But in groups, it doesn't work that way. When you come off as a salesperson, you're pushing people away. Okay. So so really the posts that you create to market, custom built basements should be 1 in 40. So in other words, 39 of them are to create conversations, to create engagement, to create trusted relationships, and 1 out of 40 is to showcase your product. And to showcase your product, you do it on your own profile or your own page. You never do that on groups, because if you do that on groups, if you post a link or you post spammy content, you will be kicked out. Okay. And some of these groups are pretty big groups. We can't afford to have you kicked out or have one of the profiles kicked out. Okay. So you're going to be accessing different profiles, different client profiles, through go to whatever the program. What's the program again, Weiss? Go to
What
computer. Hang on. Sorry.
remote piece?
Yeah, remote PC.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, remote PC. So, Weiss is eventually going to buy 2 or 3 computers where he's going to set it up in his office, and you're going to be able to access through go to PC, whatever that is.
Remote.
Remote
Remote.
PC. For some reason, I have a mental block against that company. We've been using them for years, and I still have a mental block. So the computers will be set up, will be on all the time. There will be motion sensors, so when the computer screen comes on, the video camera will record activity so we can track everyone's progress. So make sure you track your time. You have a timesheet, and that's how you're going to track your progress. We measure results we measure your activity based on results, not so much how much time you put in. If you take 8 hours to do 1 hour's worth of work, we're probably going to have an issue. Okay. So the goal is to create these relationships, create these stepping stone relationships, and use those relationships to connect with end users. Okay. As an example, I have a client who's in the painting industry. He does $5 million from using real estate agents. So real estate agents are the stepping stone relationships. So he has connections with about 40 of the top end real estate agents. And each real estate agent knows between 1,000 to 20,000 people. So he maintains a relationship with that real estate agent, who in turn has relationships with the people who own homes. So, and that's how he does about $5 million in transactions just with real estate agents. And he doesn't want to expand. He doesn't want to do commercial work. He doesn't want to do anything else. He's set in the way he does his business and he's happy with it. Okay. So, but we can use real estate agents. We can use mortgage brokers. We can use interior designers. We can use architects. We can use a lot of different people. We can use other business owners because other business owners own homes. They have kids. They live in the house, right? So what we need to do is sit down and say, okay, what are all the different income streams that we can create? Then create a strategy to engage in that conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so this is a construction group. It has 332,000 members. I'm a moderator in this group, which means we can, well, I can't say any more about that. This is one of the conversations that I posted. And this one is, I'm talking about, company culture. I'm talking about, one of my employees punched a hole in the drywall and there was a pregnant lady in the office and we have over 700 comments so far. Okay. Majority of these are business owners because you want to pick topics like when you pick a topic like salespeople, you isolate the business owners because employees in the construction industry don't have salespeople. So by picking and choosing the right topics, now you're getting the business owners to raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm a business owner by responding to that post. Does that make sense, Janice?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because with 300,000 people, there's a lot of employees here, right? Employees still own houses. Employees can still help your post go viral. And that's why we want to create a lot of engagement. We want, we want likes, we want comments, okay? So what happens is, even though this is a US group, there is a lot of Canadians in this group, right? So even though you're engaging with a lot of US business owners, when US business owners and employees comment in US, it helps the post go viral, then it helps the Canadian business owners or homeowners see it in Canada and help the post go viral. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you can either engage one-to-one, sending out emails on Facebook and engage one-to-one, but that's very tedious and it will take a long time. When you create a viral post here, now you're communicating with 300,000 people at a time, okay? And by communicating with a wide community, after you build trust, because they have to know who you are. Your first 10 posts are going to be duds because they don't know who you are. They don't know who the profile is. And it's going to take some time to create engagement. It took me almost 8 months before I, working in this group, before I got this type of engagement. Now, most people know who I am. They know they can trust me. They know I'm not going to spam them, and they engage, okay? So we need to be patient, and we also need to repurpose conversations, okay? So this one is about culture. We are starting a bookkeeping company, so we're using the same conversation to repurpose these conversations and to target these people. To target these people and then repurpose the conversation towards bookkeeping. Okay, so what you do there, you say, okay, this conversation is about someone wants to fire an employee. It's about culture. It's about retention of the employee. We have to create a 3 to 5 step email campaign to turn it from a branding conversation into a bookkeeping conversation, okay? Same thing with your company. We have to create 3 to 5 different email campaigns to turn it into branding or culture conversation into creating basement apartments. Okay. And the reason why you want to do that, the reason why you want to sit down with a piece of paper and design this is so when you're working, you've got a clear direction, clear steps as to what you need to do. Okay. So what I suggest what everybody does is you create a to-do list for the next day. Okay. You already know what kind of posts you're going to post for tomorrow. You already know what kind of videos you're going to post. You already have the chain of events that you're going to create by saying thank you. You know, the first email could be as simple as thank you for engaging in this conversation. Your help was invaluable. You know, I really appreciate it. You know, are you doing any work with stepping stone relationships? Right? You don't want to get too salesy, and that's probably already too far, right? But this is something that you sit down and you take 3 or 4 days to create, and then you judge the results of that campaign. Okay, if they stop engaging or they don't engage to that on that post, then you ask the question. You back up and you ask yourself, well, if I was him, would I be engaging with the the post that I just post on this comment? Now, this one here is saying probation. Okay. So in other words, he feels that the employee should have been arrested and sent to jail. So how do we take that? We can say probation might be kind of harsh. Should we give him a second chance on something like this, right? Then wait for his response. Then figure out what your response is going to be. He's probably going to come back and say, no, I don't give people second chances. Then you can say, well, what about your bookkeeper? Has your bookkeeper made some mistakes, right? The reason why I keep going back to bookkeeper is because we've already worked on the bookkeeping campaign and it's easier to do. So we have to create a new thought process as to how we can get it to basements. So, and that's going to take some time because I don't have the answers. But, you know, using the bookkeeping campaign, we just did this last week, you know, using that and saying, you know, we need to be patient with our employees. I'm sure your bookkeeper makes some mistakes. I'm sure you've given her some chances before. Why does your bookkeeper get a second chance and this employee doesn't, right? And that's how we would create that conversation to talk about how good his bookkeeper is. And maybe he should try our bookkeeper, then recommend a bookkeeper after 4 or 5 conversations. Do you understand that chain of events?
Yes,
Okay.
Leo.
Okay, so we need to do the same thing with basements. What we can say is, you know, let's say we look at his profile, and I can't see. Let's assume he's a roofer. Okay. How many different streams of income do you have? I understand you're a roofer. So are you only making money from roofers, from doing roofs? Have you thought about, you know, maybe bringing on a home inspector and getting leads from the home inspector? Because I'm sure a lot of people that are replacing roofs, they're thinking of selling their house, right? So if they're thinking of selling their house, they're going to need, you know, a real estate sales agent. I can recommend someone. They're going to need a home inspector. They're going to need a mortgage broker. They're going to need a moving company. They're going to need, you know, people to clean the house, right? And this is how you create the trusted relationship, by helping them. Okay. Here's a way for you to, instead of just make money only on roofing, and keep in mind, it costs you a lot of money to create that relationship with the homeowner. And now you're going to do the roof. Yes, you made, you know, half decent money on that roof. Now you're going to walk away because that client's not going to need you for another 25 years, right? But here's a way for you to capitalize on that relationship by using stepping stone relationships and recommending other people that the client already needs. And because the client already trusts you, you did a beautiful job on the roof, right? Why not make 10% on the home inspection? Why not make 10% from the moving company? Why not make 10% from, the painting company, the flooring company? Because when they move, when they sell the house, it means they have to live in another house. So they have to update and customize the new house, right? So you're helping this roofing guy by saying, hey, here are some ideas that we use. I think you can use them as well. And by the way, we have a great guy that does build some beautiful basements. And a lot of these clients, they rent their basements on Airbnb for an extra $5,000 or $7,000 a month, right? And you're going to say $7,000 a month. That's incredible. Yeah. Airbnb, you can make that kind of money, right? And this is how you use third-party recommendations. Okay. Does that make sense? Am I going too fast?
No, it does actually.
Okay. These are called leverage tools. Okay. The way you're going to help your company get to $3 million or $5 million in revenue is by helping other people first. Okay. If you go on Facebook and you say, help me, help me, help me, we do some great basements, you're pushing people away. If you go with the attitude that you want to help people, you want to help everybody, right?
First, I did not understand when I started with Leo. Later on, when I saw, some stuff, and by the way, I got a contact actually for a full house and addition on September I'm doing. I already booked it, so waiting for the permit to approve. This just happened like a couple of days ago that they got my contact from one of the posts that we post for the part-time girl.
Okay.
So now I understand how you're doing everything, and it's amazing.
Yeah. You do it, but you use large numbers. Like 300,000 people is a large number. Even though they don't live in Canada, it doesn't matter because they're helping the post go viral and the people in Canada will see it, right?
Yeah.
So influence is the new currency. We got to have, 100,000 connections. We got to have, 50 people in our trusted circle. I'll send you the link to the trusted circle for Toronto. Okay. So everyone, when you're talking to someone, the idea is to recommend other people. Then those other people are going to recommend the basement company, custom built basements. Okay. That's how you're going to get to $5 million as quickly as possible, by recommending other people. Okay. That's hard for people to accept. Okay. Because what happens is, if I stand on the soapbox and I say, I build the best basements in the world, people are going to say, who cares? I don't care. You're lying. And I don't care. Right. And I think you're lying because everybody exaggerates. But if you have 10 real estate agents, an interior designer, or an architect saying, if you want a custom basement done, call this company, right? That's called a third-party endorsement. So by using our clients' profiles that are in different industries and do different things, and promoting this company, that's called a third-party endorsement, and that's how you're going to get this company to grow. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Once you start working, it's going to feel weird, but that's fine.
By the way, Leo,
Go ahead.
I have a question. Because I have an experience before. It's actually it's the same. Actually, it's a lead generation. When I have an experience before with another client where actually he is an Amazon seller, an Amazon online arbitrage seller. So what we do as a virtual assistant for his course, actually he handles he has a course where he sell his course to different sellers who are interested in Amazon. So what we do as a lead generation virtual assistant, so we created profiles, as what I think it's quite familiar with what you usually you do, as I watch the videos. So we created profiles, different profiles. I think I created 3 or 5 profiles. So we preheat the profiles. So meaning we have to preheat them before we can start. We start messaging to people to avoid, because Facebook now is quite sensitive. So they will you will be automatically blocked if, for example, you will spam people. So we need to preheat the Facebook account before we message people. So I think it's different. I mean, it's the same. With I think with the job that as what I've understand. So by the way, do I need to create my own script? Like for example, my own script in messaging people.
Yes. Well, you're using Chat GPT.
Okay.
You're using Dragon Naturally Speaking. That's one of the videos. You're creating, as an example, on my custom commands, I probably have at least 200 custom pre-written posts or commands or emails. So you can log into my computer and copy and paste from those. But the whole idea is I can create a command and have a pre-written email. I customize it, or a pre-written post, customize it. I already have the pre-chosen hashtags, for posts. So we have systems, or we call them leverage tools, to make you very efficient. By using these tools, you're going to type over 1,000 words per minute.
Okay.
Okay. So it's going to take some time to get used to it. But you need Dragon Naturally Speaking, Chat GPT, what do you call it? Grammarly Professional, because
Yeah. So I
Grammarly free is not good. Go
not
ahead.
good. So I need to create a profile from a scratch. I from a scratch. I really need to, because I have existing um profile. I mean Facebook profile from my previous clients. That's I think 6 months or 7 months ago. I also have a few followers in my Facebook account. So do I need to create another account in
Yeah,
using
over
the
time, you're gonna create at least 10
and
um, um, for the Toronto area, Toronto, Canada area, using and I'll show you how to create the pictures for the profiles. Do you know how to do that?
um for profile pictures before us, we have trained to look for profiles or pictures that's not located. Like for example, if you will be posting in US, so you will be uh choosing pictures in different country.
Okay, no, I'm
In
talking about the profile picture for the person's face. I'll show you how to do that. We're
okay,
recording this. I'm going to post this on YouTube, so I don't want to give away too much information.
okay,
So I'll show you how to do that. But we use older people. We don't use young people.
okay.
Okay?
So we use older people. Okay,
Older
got it.
people, because older people have more credibility than younger people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, do you have any experience in content writing, content rewriting?
I don't have experience in content writing.
Okay. You've used ChatGPT?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
using chat.
And you know how to formulate the questions and
Mm.
getting, okay.
Yes.
How much have you used ChatGPT?
I think more than a year.
Okay. So you're good at it. You know how to
Yes.
formulate the questions. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And even though it prints it out, you still have to check it out and retype it, and because there's going to be mistakes. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't
Using
blind
Grammarly.
using Grammarly. Yes, it's really bad grammar actually. But there's a lot of mistakes that ChatGPT creates. So don't get into the habit of copy and pasting and not checking it. Have to check it, post it on Grammarly, retype it, reword it, and make sure they're using the present tense or the right tense. Then post it, and make sure it doesn't sound too salesy. Again, depending on where you're posting, if it's on your own profile or the profile's main page, there's some latitude there. But in groups, be very careful in groups, okay? Especially the 10 groups that we use. We cannot afford to have a profile kicked out of that group, okay? So we have to be very, very careful. We err on the side of caution in groups, okay? Maybe we can test on smaller groups, because if we get kicked out of a smaller group, no big deal. But if we get kicked out of the big groups, then it's not good. Okay. Um,
One
so
question,
go ahead.
sorry. You said about the content rewriting. What about Flex?
Flex. I'm not sure that I know Flex.
It's this is also you just type in like a content name and then a rewrite for you about that.
Okay. So like Chat GPT then.
Same thing, yeah. I'm
Okay.
probably I used it. I'm paying the membership for it, and
Okay.
I connected to the Facebook and Instagram, so it automatically posts there and then gets a lot of hashtags there too.
Okay. All right. So is this a posting?
Can I show you?
Yeah. I'll
Let me
yeah. Go ahead.
share my screen. So content AI. Um, Generate content. So you go here about anything, just let's say uh, or basement renovation. You want it to be short or whatever.
Okay.
Something
Okay.
like, and then you add it to schedule.
Okay. So it's a scheduling posting.
Yeah, so you schedule the post goes in here, and then there's a schedule for you and post it.
Okay.
It depends,
Will
like,
it post on multiple sites like Instagram,
yeah,
Twitter, and at the same time?
yes, you can add. I have Instagram and Facebook, so you could do TikTok and LinkedIn. You can link these two also, and other social media. Maybe probably you can do.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it will give you the analytics here. This is even if we post this in the site, it will show up here. It gives us the uh, how much clicks they got, how much impressions.
Yeah. And by the way, Weiss, we need to update that logo. That's a very old logo. There's a new one. I will send Janice the link to all the
Okay.
truck wraps. Let's find a
Okay.
newer one.
Okay, the truck one you're talking about?
Yes, yes, that's a very old one.
So it's going to be a truck logo.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So we need to write a lot of content for the websites. A lot
I
of
mean-
content. We need video content. We need yeah, we need a lot of SEO done work for that website. We should be getting a lot of leads from that website already, and we haven't been doing the work.
I am trying to register this. The Google has been 1 week saying we are processing your request to get
Okay.
my account, and then I can do an SEO on this. I know someone that does it for me. It did it for me from before. So these are the things that we have to do. Yes, I know. Link building is important too in SEO.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should be able to do a Google search to find what there's a special name for these websites, index sites. So which will allow you to list your company for free and give you a high authority backlink to the website. Janice, have you done a lot of work with backlinks? No?
No.
Okay. Again, there are YouTube videos you can watch about that.
Okay.
Yeah, have a look at it. Is
What
there-
about buy backlinks? Let's say we buy a very high quality, like a R9 or 10 backlinks, PR10, I mean.
Okay, well, that would be awesome if you can do that. And they're in the construction space.
Yeah, I have a supplier. Remember, I told you I had an online business, so I used to get lots of backlinks from them. They're kind of expensive, but I'll speak with them to see if I can. They can get some backlinks for my for this website, construction related.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm concerned about is if Google recognizes that they are selling backlinks, that could really backfire. So,
I think they're doing it in a way different way, but anyway, I'll find out if it's any harmful, then we won't do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe Janice, do a Google search. If there's a way to find out which companies have been penalized for selling backlinks, and if that company is not on the list, or if there is, I don't know if there's a list or anything, but it would be nice to at least check, right? Because if it's on the list, we definitely don't want to use it, and we definitely don't want to waste our money to do that. So, is there anything else you want to show on?
No, that's no.
Okay. All right, I don't want to get too deep into this, but what the two of you should sit down and figure out, okay, what are the steps? Pick a person on that chat, on that group, and talk about what are the steps. And Weiss, you're in the construction space, so you can think like they do, right? If they smell that you're a salesperson or you're trying to sell them something, the relationship is going to be gone. So you gotta use very polite language. You gotta give examples that you are in the construction space. You gotta show that you're in the construction space, because if they see that you're trying to sell them SEO or you're trying to sell them anything, they're gonna block you, they're gonna report you, and then we're gonna have problems. Okay.
Okay.
So we need to design the 3 or 4 steps or 5 steps, where the conversation is, what the first email should be or first post should be, the second, the third, and so on. So in order to create these ahead of time, you're going to need to know what are likely to be the responses the first time. What are likely to be the responses the second time? And trust me, it's worth doing this, because when you're in the moment and you're rushing around and you're trying to think of 20 different things, you're going to say something that you shouldn't say, and you're going to get banned from the group. Okay. So spend half an hour, spend an hour, whatever it takes. Pick 3 or 4 or 5 different individuals and write 3 or 4 or 5 different email sequences to take the conversation where it is to a point where they want to start referring you, and you're going to pay them 2% or 3%, or you're going to exchange referrals. They push your business, you're going to push their business on the Trusted Circle. Okay.
Mm.
And of course, we need to find out who these companies are in the Toronto area. So you need to connect with all the real estate agents in the Toronto area, all the mortgage brokers, all the contractors in the Toronto area, kitchen contractors, architects, interior designers, everybody in the Toronto area. Add them to the Trusted Circle, the spreadsheet that I'm going to send you, and you're going to tell them you're going to promote them. You expect them to promote you. They're not going to take you seriously until they get 2 or 3 leads. Then say, okay, these guys are serious, so I'm going to start doing it as well. Okay. Then you're going to recommend that they hire 2 or 3 virtual assistants, because you have 3 promoting them. It's only fair that they have the same effort to promoting you. Okay. That's how
Okay.
you're going to get it to $5 million.
Okay. So I guess it's it for today. That's it.
Yep. Start writing those emails, send it to me. I'll give you my input. Use ChatGPT to rewrite it a few times.
Is this for
Sorry?
so a task for Janice will be that's what it would be, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And while you're creating these profiles, because it takes a while for these profiles,
So I
it
need
could
to
be.
start creating the profiles,
Yes.
Leo.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Yes.
can use my profile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But we should only use a profile for half an hour. With new profiles, if you use them for more than half an hour, you're going to be seen as a bot and you're going to be canceled. Okay. And that's why you need multiple profiles, so you can jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Okay. And you also need to create a spreadsheet of comments or custom commands for Dragon Naturally Speaking, because when you create a post, now you have to jump to the other profiles to create a response. So you have to have the pre-written response. So you copy and paste, right? You
Okay.
copy and paste, because you want to, ideally, you want to have, 50 to 60 responses in the first hour. So Facebook sees, okay, this is a popular post. I'm going to start showing it to other people. So there has to be a lot of activity at first. And that's why you're jumping from profile to profile to profile. And we're going to have a regular schedule. So every Tuesday at 11 o'clock, everyone on the Trusted Circle knows that you're going to be posting, and they already have a copy of the spreadsheet with all the comments. They're going to copy and paste the comment onto the post so it goes viral. Okay. Does
So
that make
by the
sense,
way,
Janice?
by the way, Leo, I just want to ask, like for example, if we will be posting like in a particular group, since Wise has this business is a construction business, right?
Right.
So not necessarily what we post, it's all about construction business, right?
Yeah. Only
So
1 in
we can
40 should be construction related.
construction related, but you have to rephrase that.
Right. And you're going to be involved in other groups, because even people in the travel industry, they own homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're going to post in real estate investment groups, because new home buyers need this strategy so they can afford a house, right? There's some
Okay.
strategies that we created so they can afford a house and qualify for a house. And we use mortgage brokers who have private money so they can get private money to you qualify new home buyers who want to create basement apartments. This is what I mean about helping people.
Mhm.
Okay.
So our Facebook page, I mean the Facebook profile we created, uh, the location will be
Toronto,
Canada or Toronto,
Toronto.
Canada.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if, for example,
pick different cities in Toronto, Vaughan, North York, Richmond Hill, and so on, but generally in the GTA. Okay.
so there is a possibility that we will have a potential client soon in US. Is that possible?
We don't want
Or
clients in US for this company,
so
but
it's
you can have,
Canada.
yeah, but you can still use US Facebook groups because the content and the comments they make will make it more relevant. Because if there's 600, 700 comments on your
Okay.
post, there's a bigger likelihood that someone in Canada will see
Canada.
it, right?
Okay, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Than GTA. GTA or Ontario is the largest population in Canada. Okay. You'll get this. I mean, this is fun stuff. It's creative stuff. You have to use your imagination. You're getting paid to do what everybody else does for free. So it's a fun job.
So the
Okay.
profile creates, she has to actually use the remote PC
Yes,
create from.
because yeah, and you're going to create Chrome instances. So the Chrome instances are collecting cookies. So Facebook sees you accessing that profile through exactly the same cookies and computer, right? Even though you're connecting from the Philippines, it looks like you're connecting from GTA. Okay. And also, when you're creating these profiles, when you create a profile, make sure I'm involved. So I'll guide you through it. Okay. To find postal codes, look for a hotel in, let's say, Richmond Hill, get the 3 digits. Then that way you have an address for that. So it's easier to find postal codes. I will show you how to create the profile picture. You want the age, should be above 45, 45 to 65, okay, in terms of age. Predominantly, I would say 80% male profiles, okay, because it's predominantly males in the construction industry, maybe even 90%. If you're going to create female profiles, they should be in interior design or something like, or kitchen design or something like that. Okay, that is the expectation. Let's not fight the trend, because when we fight the trend, they start raising questions like, I think you'll understand what I mean. Okay.
Okay.
And don't use ChatGPT to write the profile content, because Facebook will recognize that. Okay.
Oh,
Again, when you're ready to create one, schedule a meeting with me and I'll help you create one. But before you
okay.
connect with me, create an email. Okay, so you need an email to create the Facebook profile. I have a number of pictures that I can use already, so I can send them to you.
On WhatsApp communication, I guess when I put the group, you guys can communicate.
Yeah. I'll send you pictures through WhatsApp. We can talk about the field, but register. I guess you're gonna have to use Wise's account to create, create 5 email addresses first. Probably Gmail is the most common. How many emails do you have, Wise?
We created, I think 3, and I have
Okay, I have several hundred, so we don't have a problem yet. All right, so go ahead, start working, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.